Gentlemen, I'll start by saying I'm no speaker. Oh, excuse me, ma'am. I didn't see you back there. I'll start again. Gentlemen, you too, ma'am. I'm really no public speaker. I don't have to tell you that Pittsburgh is not the steel town it used to be. It's different now. Even if it's number one in the US of A, there's a lot of steel workers out there who've been passed by. We made the best steel in the world right here. Talk to any worker down in Ambridge, and he'll tell you that all the bridges in the US of A at one time were made by the American Bridge Company. In the glory days, the mills in Carnegie, Aliquippa, and Homestead outproduced everybody else in the whole world put together. World War II, the mills were going all right. We fought that war with steel. So you might say that that war was won right here in Pittsburgh, PA. Well, that's all behind us now, and the mills, or most of them, shut down for good. Trouble is, there are a lot of men like me still around. Okay, a lot of people are wondering why we don't relocate. That's easy to say, but it's not that easy to do. We have family here, friends, traditions, things like that, and we still have a lot of work left in us. All we want is to work. As far as I'm concerned, I want to work until I'm not here anymore.
Pass it, damn ball. Get rid of it, for Pete's sake. Look in the end zone, dummy. There he is. There he is. Oh, God damn it, that's the last straw. I don't know why I get so involved with those clowns. They're not going anywhere. Both flankers in the end zone, clear, and he tries to run with the ball. I bet you're laughing at me, Liz, acting up like this. Helps to pass the time, honey. Every day gets a little bit harder. Ball games help me get my mind off myself, but once they're over, I come right back to what I am. It's not like the 70s for football and baseball here. No, sorry. Ah, those were the sweet years, remember? I'm starting to feel my age, honey. Old Lou is 63. He's 2 years older than my father when he died. Isn't that something? I can't imagine myself being older than my dad. There it is. Ah, the old man really loved you, Liz. Used to call you a sweetheart. Ah, not to your face, I mean. You, he wanted to be perfect, so he waited till you weren't around. You know how I know he really loves you? He let you do things for him. Wouldn't even let me, but he let you. You bringing me my cane, Liz, huh? Please.
You left it hooked over the kitchen chair, Dan.
I'm always forget that thing someplace. Every day, someplace different.
Do you think you really need it?
Maybe not, but it give me something to do with my hand.
I'll walk with you if you want me to, Dad.
Well, sure, Liz. You want to walk? We can walk. Walk is a good.
Well, watch your step.
Yeah?
When are you going to fix that board?
I fix.
You said that last Sunday.
I fix Monday.
We finished the figs you brought last week.
What, 2 bucks?
Both boxes. They were delicious.
I'm glad you like. They good, those fig. Not like old country fig. We grow fig there, big. Hey, like this. Hey, big fig over in my town in Abruzzi. And they sweet, Liz. Sweet, like the milk from your mother.
Maybe someday we'll all go back to the old country and we'll visit your hometown and we'll eat the figs there.
My hometown? What they got there? Just a fig, that's all. They're so poor, Liz.
But don't you ever want to go back?
Back? Back to what? Back to nothing. That's all.
But wouldn't you like to visit?
No, I don't go back. I send it to the priest there some money when I can afford, but I don't go back. Why I want to go back? I have my house here. I pay all my bills. I have you and the Lou. I got my shop downstairs. Why I go back?
Don't you get lonesome at home by yourself, Dad?
All the life is a lonesome, Liz. No matter what anybody tell you, all the life is a lonesome.
Well, you know you always have a place with us. Always.
Man. Main thing in this life is you don't go down in the ditch. I remember I go down in the ditch when the flood come here, but I work out from that. God bless America, eh? That's what is America. Give you a chance to work out, pull up yourself. But that flood was bad, like hell. Take everything when we live on the north side. Furniture, food, every damn thing. 6th day, we live without no light on the 3rd floor. And that son of a bitch river, she just don't go down. But then, when she decided to go down, she leaves so much mud on the ceiling in the kitchen. I have to borrow the fire hose from the station to wash it down and everything. You know, maybe I say this story to you before sometime.
Once or twice, maybe.
Oh, dear.
Oh, Dad, you finish. I'm listening.
That river, a lot of damage. It was the worst time for me in my life. Worse than when I come to this country, from the old country. First, we go to Marseille, France. Then to Ellis Island, New York. Lou's mother. She stayed with the women on the one part of the ship, and I stay with the men on the other part. And I don't see my wife the whole time on that ship. She was a young woman then, not 20 years yet. Now that the ship, she go up and down. All the men with me, they get sick. I get sick. Everybody vomit. One man, he vomited blood one day. Next day, he died. I get so disgusted. But still, I know that that ship is going to someplace better than where I come from. That gives me hope down there. That son of a bitch river, she get me disgusted worse than that ship. The river back up in the cellar. And it smelled, my God, like something died down there. Everything on the 1st floor, all my tools downstairs. I lose everything. But, thanks to God, I get out of the ditch. I start all over right here, and God bless America. I don't owe nobody 5 cents. I raise my kids, and we have a good name everywhere. And I grow big, almost good like in the old times.
We heard that story once, we heard it 100 times, Lise. Hello. Oh, hello, Al. How are the kids? How's little Louie? Come on in, Ralph, the door's open. No, Al, I wasn't yelling at you. No, so when am I going to see you, baby? Sunday. No, I don't want to come over there. You come over here. No, Elvira, I didn't change my mind. Yes, I did think about it. I just don't want to talk about it now. Look, just you come over on Sunday, let me see you and the kids, I'll be happy. Hey, you heard from your brother? Montreal. Oh, he travels too damn much. I'm going to tell him about it, honest to God. No, I don't need a thing. No, just you come over. Yeah. Kiss the kids for me. Especially Louie.
You want black or white this time?
What's the difference?
Black or white?
Give me the black. Pieces are easier for me to see.
Hey, Jeff, I heard you ask about it.
Always on the damn road. Talking now about basing them out of Boston. No, it's just like a service. Move here, move there. After the first move, they own you. Tried to warn Jeff about that. I said, son, don't let them make a sucker out of you.
You move first.
White moves first.
You move first this time. I moved first so many times I'm getting a complex about it. How do we stand? How much do I owe you?
I'm counting yesterday?
Yesterday and all the days before.
Oh, as of yesterday, it was $23,750. You better hope I die before I have to collect that.
Any news?
Not yet.
This isn't the best time to get a loan from a bank, any bank.
Nah, Reagan keeps talking about entrepreneurism, doesn't he? This is entrepreneurism, isn't it?
He means entrepreneurism for those who are entrepreneurs already. If you have money, you can get money. If you don't, you can't. That's an old saying I just made up.
Reaganomics. Same old bullshit with a Hollywood spin on it. Those Republicans never change, Ralph. It's money first, last, and sideways.
What's the alternative?
Beats me. Democrats are in a fog. They forgot where they came from. The old days, the Democratic Party was where people got up in the morning, went to work. Now look.
You look.
Nobody's talking about jobs. It's all about minorities, lifestyles, all that crap. I've gone too far. Those jokers think if you put a lot of minorities together, you get a majority. All you get is a lot of minorities, that's all. Why don't they talk about jobs? If you're a minority, you're still gonna work, right?
At least the Republicans can keep it simple. Free enterprise and a strong defense. Money and guns.
Right. Build a fort around the cash register and rake in all you can.
Do you, think our guarantees will help us this time?
Why not? Here we are, 10 guys putting our houses on the line to get a loan. If I was a banker, I'd take that serious, wouldn't you?
Sure, but I'm no banker. Besides, I still owe you $23,000 and change. Doesn't say much for my business sense.
Ah, it's those jokers in Washington put us in this mess. You know, the only one worth a damn between Roosevelt and right now was Kennedy, and he got taken out. Remember when Kennedy stopped here during the campaign? I talked to him one-on-one just like you and me right now. I told him the steel business was headed for trouble, and he listened. That's when the government was still us and not them. Did I ever tell you I come back in the same hospital shit with Kennedy during the war?
100 times, but what's the point?
Well, the point is that nobody in D.C. after Kennedy looked out for us when we needed it. The mills went bust. After that, I took that job as a night watchman. I thought I'd go nuts just sitting there. And I take that retraining class. Computers. My fingers are too big for the keys, and those young guys, they just ran circles around me. And the gallbladder attack, that screwed up everything. If it weren't for my pension and my Social Security, I'd be out in the street starving.
Not quite starving.
Ah, starving, starving. What the hell? You know, that's when I decided what I really wanted to do was what I was good at, what we were all good at.
Why don't you sit down and play, Lou? I know the whole story, old buddy. 6 banks have turned us down already. Lucky Seven's next.
I know, I know.
All those guys eat lunch together at the Duquesne Club, so don't get your hopes up.
Just gotta talk once in a while, keep the idea fresh in my mind. Besides, you gotta listen. You owe me. Wrought iron, best investment you can make. It's better than wood, stronger than aluminum. Wrought iron. It can last forever. God, we can do it, Ralph, honest to God. Everybody thinks we're dead, but a man's not dead till he decides to die. All it takes is a little faith. We'll come back. Look at the Pirates and the Steelers. You mean to tell me they can't come back?
Not in my lifetime.
I see some bright spots.
Bright spots are pretty well covered up, if you ask me.
You don't know where to look.
I look at the scoreboard. Where else is there to look?
You're too goddamn pessimistic. That's always been your trouble. That's why you got ulcers.
One ulcer. Don't give me more than I earned all by myself.
You remind me of one of the pawns on his board, Ralph. You think small, you know that?
Well, you just move for Pete's sake. You're getting carried away.
Christ, I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. You just gotta bear with me a little bit, old buddy. I'm all by myself now. Whenever I see someone coming, even if it's somebody who owes me 23 grand, I get revved up. You still got your wife with you. You got somebody you can talk to.
It's not all you think it is, Lou.
Hey, anything's better than being by yourself. Don't kid yourself about that.
Too old to kid anybody, especially myself. How many years has it been since you lost? Since Liz passed away.
8 years. This past July, 8 long damn years. Take it from me, buddy, without your mate, it's a hell of a long life. You know, I actually hate to go to bed. I just turn and turn. I finally do go to sleep. I just hope I'll get up and see the sun shining. I wake up, it's 2 or 3 in the morning. I just walk around, try to read something. Sometimes I even pray. You don't know how lucky you are, Ralph.
What if I told you I came over here to play chess every day just to get away from him?
There's nothing in that. A guy's got to get out once in a while.
It's more than that, Lou. Ever since Sylvia had that tumor scare, she's changed. Nerves are all on the surface. She's gotten so damn religious, I hardly know her half the time. We've been sleeping in separate beds for a year and a half now. And she doesn't listen when we talk. It's as if her mind's already made up, as if she doesn't want anything new to upset her or make her rethink something. It's not that I stopped loving her, understand? I wouldn't hurt her for the world or let anyone else hurt her. She's a good woman, Sylvia. I keep wishing she'd be the Sylvia she used to be. I keep waiting for that to happen, but it doesn't. It's never gonna happen.
What do you mean separate beds?
Come on, Lou, you want me to spell it out? Look, when a woman's had a scare, she gets afraid, and she sleeps afraid, and that short circuits everything. It's been that way for a long time now.
What are you gonna do about it?
What the hell would you do about it?
I don't know what to tell you, buddy. I mean, Liz and I never had a problem like that.
Must be hard for you now, that way.
What do you mean not being with a woman? You believe I never thought about it except with Liz? Honest to God, even now I never think about it except with Liz. That's what kills me. I go through some rough nights, but figure who the hell doesn't? I just couldn't do it with anybody else, I know that. You know, about a year ago I stopped in town to have a beer. I was just sitting there and this dame comes over and stands right next to me. She smiles and shoves her squats right up against my arm. Just leaves it there. Whole time acting like nothing's happening. I even got a rise out of it, Ralph. I couldn't go with it. Chance was right there, but it wasn't for me.
You mean she came right over to you?
Right over. No introduction, nothing. She says, you've been here before? I said, I can't remember, maybe.
Then what?
Well, she wants to keep the conversation going, so she says, you don't smile when you drink, you know that? That's the way loners drink. I notice things like that. And I said, oh, so you think I'm a loner, huh? Then you know what she says?
How would I know? I wasn't there.
She says, I know what's good for loners if you're in the mood.
Honest to God, she said that.
I said, you don't waste any time, do you, sister? She comes right back with, the older you get, the less there is to waste. Then she waits a minute and she says, you got enough gray in your hair to know that.
What kind of comeback do you have for that?
I just told her you got the wrong guy. But she hangs right in there. She says, you think I don't know a guy who needs it when I see him? And she waits a minute. She puts in the finisher. Well, she says, I'm not going to ask twice. You don't know what you're missing. I'd have gotten down on all fours for you, buddy boy. When you're in your bed back home, you just think about that.
Honest to God, she said that. Straight out, just like that.
Straight out, just like that.
Woo! I don't know, Lou. If that was me, I don't know how I would have handled that.
I told you I got a rise out of it, didn't I? I'm no saint. Once you get down that road, you just end up thinking about just one thing. You know, I was with the 9th Marines out on the coast waiting to ship out. I was with guys who couldn't wait for the weekend, just so they could go out and get laid. That's all they live for. It's sticking anything, just like goats. Or else they'd whack off in the shower. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, Ralph. Maybe just gotta be patient. Sylvia's got what it takes. She'll come around. Why don't you ask Angela to bring the grandkids over more often? That'll do it.
It's gotten to Angela, too. Her mother treats her like she's 13, and Angela's a lawyer, for God's sake.
You got your problems, too. Guess we all got something. Anything's better than being by yourself. You know, I get so lonely here sometimes, I think I'm gonna go nuts. It's like I got this clock inside me. It never moves ahead, it never stands still. Just little by little, it goes backward. Something harsh reminds me of something else. All of a sudden, it's 30 years ago. I think I hear Liz in the kitchen or upstairs putting the kids to bed.
What's the matter, Lou? Lou? Lou! Lou, what's the matter? Lou! Hey, what? Sit down. What can I do? What's the matter?
Just give me a minute. Just give me a minute. It's hard to breathe.
I'm calling a doctor. You need a doctor?
Yeah, it's better now. I'm sorry, old buddy. I get these once in a while from the operation. Every time I get it, I just can't catch my breath.
Well, I still think we should call a doctor. Maybe it's your tickle.
No! It's over. I'm okay now.
Well, what causes it?
This time, I think it was salami. Yeah, that's it. I had some hard salami for lunch.
Salami? You scared the shit out of me for salami. You have no gallbladder and you go eat salami?
I know.
For Pete's sakes, Lou, you don't use your head. Why don't you swallow Drano and be done with it? if you get attacks like this, you really shouldn't be by yourself. You might pass out or something.
What, me pass out?
Yeah, Lou, it happens. You really ought to take Elvira's offer and go stay with her. You'd be near your grandchildren, you'd have a maid. You ought to think about that.
That's not for me. I love Elvira and her kids, but I'm not ready to pack it up and call it quits.
Well, just be sure you're not kidding yourself. Look, we both over 60. At least I'm honest enough to accept it, but you keep fighting. You can't win.
As long as I'm fighting, I'm winning. Why do I have to accept something I don't want to accept? Why should I? I'm myself in this house, Ralph. This is my territory. All the repairs on the roof, me. All the plumbing, me. All the wiring, me. I added a back porch all by myself.
It's only a house, Lou, real estate.
Not to me. Not a weak spot in it. I know Elvira means well. If I go anywhere, I'll go with her. Sit down, Ralph. I'm going to tell you something. Something I never told anybody before. Maybe you'll laugh, I don't know, but sometimes when I'm alone here, you won't laugh.
I forgot how to laugh 5 years ago.
I'm alone here sometimes. I talk out loud. Could be any time, night or day, I just talk out loud to my wife. You know, maybe you won't understand this, Ralph, but somehow I feel her close to me here. I just start talking to her like you and me are talking now. You see me talking out loud to my wife any place but here.
What do you talk about?
Not anything, everything.
You want to go on with this?
With what?
Chess, remember? Why the hell you think I came over in the first place?
Just leave it set up. We'll get back to it later, tomorrow, whenever. Why don't we just sit and shoot a raggle, huh?
I'm out of here.
Hey, stick around, please. I mean, you're not doing anything right now, are you?
Hell, I ain't done anything in 8 years, going on 9.
You just wait until we get this loan, buddy boy. You're gonna get off your ass then. You're gonna be doing all the paperwork in the office. We're gonna have standing orders before you know it.
God, but I wish I had your enthusiasm. Lou, where do you get it?
You really want to know?
Yeah, let me have it.
Well, for starters, you get some sucker to owe you 23 grand. That gives you lots of enthusiasm.
Have you noticed, Lou? There aren't any kids in the whole neighborhood anymore. Hardly a single kid.
Not any weddings anymore either. Just funerals. Everybody who could get married went and got married years ago and took off. The rest of us are checking out one by one. What could happen to a Racco? Out in his garden picking a radish, he just keels over.
Did you get to the wake?
Nah, I couldn't. It's just getting over my gallbladder operation. Belching and farting all over the place. I couldn't leave the house.
The same crowd as at Roscoe's. Not as many. One less here, one less there.
We're getting taken out one at a time. We're like sitting ducks.
Got that right.
And that's why we just gotta get this loan. We're gonna get taken out anyway. We may as well go while we're doing something rather than waiting around for it to happen. That's the way I look at it.
For what it's worth, I second the motion.
Hey, screw all this talk about funerals, Ralph. We're not dead yet, right? Hey, you remember when Elvira got married? You remember that, huh?
Remember, that was the best wedding we ever saw, I swear to God.
I don't think I went to sleep that night. I danced with Al, I danced with Liz, I danced with everyone.
You even danced with me, for Pete's sakes.
Hey, that was my beautiful girl on her wedding day.
I'm happy, Dad. I'm just plain happy.
I may be mistaken, Your Highness, but I think this is my dad's, right? I hope you're noticing how smooth I am. I've been practicing in front of a mirror for 2 solid weeks.
Dad,
Yes, honey.
you and Mom have given us a beautiful wedding. Glenn and I can't thank you enough.
How many daughters do I have? Just one. Just you, El.
Dad, you look so handsome. And Mom, doesn't she look beautiful in that lavender dress?
You have the most beautiful mother in the world, El. Beautiful inside and out.
And I have the handsomest dad.
Well, why not? Think your mother would have married an ugly guy?
Dad,
Yes, sweetheart.
I know how you and Mom sacrificed to put me through art school.
Your mother gets all the credit for that, El. She said you had a God-given talent and we should back you all the way.
You didn't agree with her, did you?
Well, to tell you the truth, I had my doubts. What do I know? I'm just a working man, honey. See? Came through with flying colors, summa cum laude. You have 2 sculptures done on commission. How many waiting?
3. But they're all on hold until after the honeymoon.
What a beautiful picture you two make.
Come on, Liz. Get in the picture with us.
Oh,
Your Highness, if I may have the next dance with the mother of the bride.
never thought this day would come, did we, Lou?
No talking now, just dancing. Shh.
Everything's gone so well, I'm starting to worry.
Everything's supposed to go well. Haven't we been planning this for months? Anyway, I'm just getting warmed up. I'm going to dance with every woman in Aliquippa tonight.
Now, you know, I'm not superstitious, but I read someplace that when things go perfectly on the wedding day, it's a bad sign.
Well, since you're not superstitious, what do you care?
You know what I mean. It's just a feeling. Have you changed your mind about Glenn? He's really a nice boy, and he loves Elvira.
I know he loves her. It's just not the one I thought she would marry, that's all.
Why?
Oh, wish I could tell you, baby. He's not working people, maybe that's it. What's his old man, a stockbroker or something like that? Those guys just move papers around and run up phone bills.
Lou, you can't hold that against Glenn.
Well, you asked me for my opinion, and I gave it to you. What the hell? Not gonna be around forever, so what difference does it make what I think? You're right, I guess. Main thing is that they love one another.
That's always the main thing.
Just don't think he's as strong as El is. You know, for him and his family, work was getting up in the morning and going downtown to the office. Nobody broke a real sweat. El's different. She struggled. She even had that job in the butcher shop one summer. She's got what it takes inside. And she has a hell of a lot more inside than he does.
Well, at least they're starting out with more than we had when we started.
Oh, now hold the phone, Liz. Now, we started off the way everybody should start off, with nothing. We didn't rely on family or money, just one another. What's better than that?
It may seem better when you look back on it, but I remember it was pretty hard when it was happening.
It did us good, didn't it? We turned out all right. And we had Jeff 9 months to the day after we were married. How's that?
You always have to bring that up.
Because that's what makes the world go round, El. That's what makes the world go round and round and round.
Bet there hasn't been a wedding around here in 10 years. 11 maybe.
Hey, that's why we gotta think of the good times, buddy. Gotta keep our spirits up.
What good does that do? The facts catch up to you in the end anyway. Look at Elle. She was the happiest girl on earth the day she got married. Look at how things worked out for her.
Now, I saw it coming. I even told Liz that the day of the wedding. God strike me dead if I didn't say that.
You still think they broke up because of little Louis?
Oh, sure. He couldn't handle it. Nancy was born, everything was okay. Then they had little Louis and the cracks started to show. Okay, so he's a little slow, but what the hell, he's a sweet kid. Oh, but his father just couldn't accept it, so he split.
Like that, huh?
Just like that.
Does he help out?
I think so, I don't ask. What's money? Anybody can give money. You don't have the guts to give it yourself, you can't paper it over with money. Luckily, Elvira's making enough now, she doesn't need them that way, but it still pisses me off just the same. Those kids need a father, and where in the hell is he?
Well, still one hell of a wedding, Lou. People still talk about it.
Let's change the damn subject. Every time I think how things turned out, I get sick to my socks. You know, sometimes I blame that marriage on Elvira. She saw how happy Liz and I were. She thought everybody was that way. She never saw him for what he really was. Ah, that's enough of that stuff now. We gotta keep our spirits up. We gotta look ahead.
I don't know if I got any spirits left. My daughters keep telling me how mature I look. And I tell them they don't know the difference between maturity and just being worn out. I'm always tired as hell. Why should I be so tired? I ain't doing anything.
Hey, doing nothing tires you quicker than anything. Don't you know that? You can only think and putter around the yard so long, then you need some man-sized thing to do. No two ways about it.
Sure hope to God you get that loan, Lou.
Hope we get that loan. Well, made the best case I could. Laid out the whole plan. I couldn't read their faces. Never know what people like that are thinking.
No mystery about it. They think just like we think. They just add zeros to everything, that's all. Then they play it safe. They can listen you to death.
Simple as that, huh?
Simpler. They just think of ways of making money with money. That's not thinking. That's just adding and subtracting and once in a while being lucky. I'd still like to know what you said to him. You never told me that.
What could I tell them? They had all the information on the application right in front of them. Names, references, house appraisals, all that stuff. Just tried to fill in between the lines, that's all.
Come on, tell me.
Well, started by saying too many people forgot our history here. We're working people. Laid that on the line. Said I want to work until I'm not here anymore. We all feel that way. We all want to work until we're not here anymore. It's in our blood. It's in the way we raise our kids. Look at all the terrific baseball and football players that come from Western Pennsylvania. Everybody says they're just naturally good, but that's not it. The real reason our boys are good is they learned early on how to work. They learned you gotta break a sweat and stick with a job day after day. I'm not a young man anymore, but I feel that way too. And the other men who are in this with me feel exactly like me. We're a little long in the tooth, but we're workers. We don't want to live on our savings or move in with our kids. We think the wrought iron business is right up our alley, but we need money to get it started. But once it catches on, we're going to keep it going. We're going to bring in young blood, and it's going to be employee-owned and employee-run. We're going to dig out our union cards and affiliate again. You know, we all put our own houses down as guarantees against this loan. That's how strongly we feel about this. Our houses. That means a lot. We bought those houses with more sweat than enough, let me tell you. We have the know-how. All we need is a backing. If you ask me, that's an even trade. You know, I got this friend, auto worker in Detroit with Chrysler. He's a genius with leather. All that leather upholstery you see in the best cars, my friend does that kind of work. He's the best in the business. You can have all the money in the world to manufacture cars. You don't have somebody to do that final leather work with his own two hands. What have you got? What my friend can do with leather, we can do with iron. We know how to work with our hands. We've done it all our lives. And if you ask me, we can't afford to let that kind of handwork get away from us in this country. It's what made America great. It's what made us what we are. We want to show you it's still there. Hell, we can go to work tomorrow morning. All we want is a chance. That's enough, you little rascal. Well, I got Louis to count up to 20. We had to work at it, but he finally got it. I got to 19. I asked him what came next. You know what he said?
I'm afraid to ask.
20-teen!
20. Oh.
If it weren't for going to Mass, I'd never wear this damn suit.
Hey, Angela's kids won't play any jokes on Louis, will they, Dad?
Oh, not a chance. You'll have a great time over there. Be good for Sylvia, too.
Hey, I'm brewing a pot of coffee. You want a cup?
Sure, I'll have a cup. But it's got to be my kind of coffee.
What's my kind of coffee?
I want to be able to stand a spoon straight up in the middle of the cup. Last time you made coffee for me, I could read a newspaper through it.
1 cup of ink coming up.
Well, it sure smells like coffee.
You should get yourself a new coffee maker.
Why? That one was good enough for Joe DiMaggio. What's good enough for Joe is good enough for me. Besides, the old ones make the best coffee.
The old clean ones make the best coffee. Even Joe DiMaggio would have to agree with me on that.
I do the best I can. Oh,
Why don't you let me take care of you a little bit more, Dad?
you do take care of me. You're always bringing over care packages.
You know what I mean.
Come on now, this is our day to enjoy ourselves, please.
All right, all right. But you have to promise me one thing.
Okay, I'll promise.
You have to promise me that you will listen. That's all. Just listen.
Okay, I'll listen.
Well, the problem with you living here and...
Could you just put a little more cream in this for me?
You're changing the subject again, Dad. You always do that. Dad, how long's this lettuce been in here? It's black. Oh, man, this place needs a woman's touch. I think I'm gonna start looking for a nice widow for you. You know, someone who's already trained.
Not interested.
Well, there's a couple of women that I see you're still playing chess with, Ralph.
Almost every day.
Who's winning?
He owes me $23,000.
You don't play cheap, do you?
I'll be dead and judged before I see a penny of it. Oh, this is perfect. How's the husband, El?
He has a name, Dad.
Okay, how's Glenn?
No change. Still in his apartment.
Does he help you out?
Less and less. But he buys bonds for the kids. And he sends me flowers every once in a while. Go figure that one out if you can. Thank God I don't need his support anymore. I keep getting commissions. Hey, I even brought a sample to show you. You know, the real blessing is that I can work right in my studio at home. So I don't need anyone to look after the kids, you know, especially my Louie.
I always thought you had more on the ball than he had.
Oh, he's not a bad man, Dad. Really, he's not. He's just one of those people who can't deal with, you know, sickness.
Louie's not sick. Who says he's sick?
You know what I mean.
He's not dumb. He understands everything. I know. We talk a lot, me and Louie.
But he is retarded, Dad. Glenn can't accept that.
You talking divorce or anything like that?
No,
There's no other woman in the picture, is there?
I don't think so, but I guess I'd be the last one to hear about that.
You sure as hell deserve a lot better, El.
I got more than I deserve. I have 2 children I love. I have a way to make my living that makes me happy. And I have the best dad in the whole world. Even though he's stubborn, stubborn, stubborn.
Liz, I know what I'm talking about. She should take a course in accounting or something where a girl can always make a buck.
She is not interested in accounting, Lou.
Well, then, what about nursing? Nurses can always find work. Sickness is here to stay, and sick people need nurses.
You're missing the point. She has talent. She has real talent.
A lot of people with talent can't put food on the table.
Now, what about that picture she drew of you last Christmas?
What about it?
Oh, weren't you impressed with it?
Well,
oh,
I-
sure you were. You showed it to everybody.
Okay, it was a good picture, but what does one picture have to do with it?
It showed talent. Now, we have to support talent. If she wants to go to Carnegie Tech or some art school in New York, then we just have to sacrifice and help her do it. We help Jeff, we can help her.
No, Jeff was a different story. Straight business, money in the bank.
That's not the point. Jeff studied business because he wanted to study business. We didn't make him. We helped him because that's what he wanted to do. Now it's Elle's turn.
That's a hell of a gamble, Liz.
So why is it a gamble? She'll be doing what she does best, making pictures and sculptures, working with her hands. Now, you're always bragging about how you and your crew make steel, well, you're working with your hands. Now, maybe she got her talent from you. Did you ever look at it that way?
From me?
Why not? She didn't get it from me, or my side of the family. We can't draw a straight line.
You really think she got it from me?
We've got to back her, Lou. A talent is from God. We can't act as if she doesn't have it. We're responsible.
Okay, okay. That's what she wants, okay. Don't say I didn't warn you about the consequences.
The consequences are her business and God's business.
Well, she'll have to help. We can't do it all.
Now, she is already saving a little bit out of what she earns every week. It's not much, it's something.
Liz,
What?
well, you really think she has the stuff?
Oh, who can know something like that in advance, darling?
There's nothing worse than encouraging somebody who's really not as good as you think they are.
Now, if it turns out that she's not good enough, Elle will be the first one to realize that she doesn't kid herself.
Oh, I know.
We'll talk about this later.
You are stubborn. You're not good in the kitchen, but I love you anyway. Hey, you want to see a woman who's creating a ton of trouble for me downtown?
What woman?
Let me introduce you to her.
Looks like a statue of a naked woman to me.
It's just the rough model, but do you think it's provocative?
Well, sure I do. Everything's showing up and down.
Well, I'd love to know what the Venus de Milo would have to say about that.
The Venus de Milo.
It's all art, Dad. Art.
You know what I think of people with no clothes on. Now, why do you have to go in for that stuff?
Hey, I've been working on this commission for over a year. They wanted something that would suggest the spirit of Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
Hey, I struggled with that. Until this image came to me. Just the way you see her. This woman is determined to be herself, no matter what.
If you say so, honey, why not? But I'd still like it better if it was covered.
So would the ones who gave me the commission. Bankers. They're predetermined. For my part, they're all a bunch of...
Tight asses. They're that way about everything.
What it comes down to is they don't want the breasts showing. But these are defiant breasts. I tell them they're being adolescent, and they say they have to be sensitive to public reaction. They keep telling me that children come into the bank with their parents, and they have to be concerned about the effect that that statue is going to have on their kids. Can you believe that? That statue's been in my studio for months. One day Louis walked in, he looked at it, and he looked, and he looked, and you know what he said?
What?
Mommy, that lady's gonna catch cold. That's all.
He said, the lady's gonna catch cold.
Oh, Mom would love that.
You're gonna give them back their commission?
Gonna wait. Just wait.
How long?
Oh, a week, maybe. We'll see. You know, Dad, every time I come into this house, I expect to see Mom here. Even after all these years, I just can't get used to this place without her.
Makes two of us, baby.
I don't know who said that time is a great healer, but it's a lie. Every year I expect it to get better, but it just gets worse. It just...
No, Nell. The more you think about it, the worse it gets.
This house is so full of memories. Everywhere you turn, they just keep hitting you in the face. How do you deal with that every day?
I just learned to live with it, I guess. You know, we were sitting right here, and I looked up and I thought your mother. I'd seen a lot of Marines get taken out like that, all of a sudden. It's just the same.
Dad, please.
For years, I kept living and reliving that night. If I wasn't thinking about it, I'd force myself to think about it.
Dad, let's talk about something else.
You know, it was as if I had to be faithful to that memory, even if it killed me. And I saw I was just digging a grave for myself, and what I was doing was an insult to your mother.
I was so worried about you then. You don't know how much. Dad,
You know, El, I once asked your mother what life really meant to her. You know what she said? Growing. Not growth. Growing. She made it sound like it was happening this minute, every minute. I reminded myself of that. Helped me to change. I took up chess even though I hated it. I helped Ralph put up his garage door. You know, I used to go down to the supermarket, bring back push carts that people used to leave in the parking lot. Little things like that. After about a year, I started to come back to life, and it made me feel, you know, closer to your mother because of it.
well, if Mom said that life meant growing, that's what you were doing. You were growing. Daddy,
Yes.
you scare me when you stare like that.
I'm glad you made me talk about it, El.
It just came out. I didn't plan it. Hey, kids are having a field day over at Sylvia's.
It'll do him good.
Did I tell you Jeff was going to come by? He's coming in from Montreal.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, he's going to come straight from the airport. He has a dinner meeting later, but he wants to see you.
I bet you that boy doesn't spend 10 weeks out of the year in Pittsburgh. If he found the right girl, I'd feel a lot better.
There are 2 or 3 women he dates when he's in Pittsburgh.
2 or 3 doesn't add up to the right one, El. Taking a woman out's one thing, but deciding to get married's something else.
Dad, let's not talk about my brother. Jeff can take very good care of Jeff. Let's talk about you.
What about me?
You know what I mean. The apartment is all ready for you. We're just waiting for you to decide. You'll have all the independence you have here. I won't interfere. I promise,
Let's
I
not
swear.
go through that again, El, for God's sake.
Dad, be realistic. What if something happened to you here? I'm a half an hour away. If there's traffic, it takes me an hour.
Don't worry about me, honey. I have good neighbors on both sides.
I am not talking about neighbors. I'm talking about us. You and me, family. If you were in the apartment, I could look in on you. I would know that you're all right. I mean, what if you fell down the steps to the basement, or God forbid something else happened? Who would know?
I'd get to the phone if I had a crawl on my belly.
Dad, you aren't listening. You promised you'd listen. Why are you being so difficult about this? It's not like it means that you're finished or anything like that. It's life, that's all. Besides, I'm by myself too. Maybe I need you as much as you need me. Did you ever think of that?
Baby, I appreciate everything you're saying to me. Honest to God, I do. You know that. I love you. I love Nancy and Louie because they're from you. This isn't the time for me to move. I can't. I just can't move in now.
Well, when can you? When it's too late?
Let's just say I'll give you my answer soon. I promise. There's a little something I'm cooking up with my old crew out there. If it fizzles, I'll rethink everything. I promise you'll be the first to know.
No, what? Something cooking. What are you talking about?
That's all I can tell you now.
Dad, you just said you loved me. If you love me, you can confide in me.
It's a prospect I'm working on. That's all I can tell you.
But you don't trust me enough to tell me what it is.
Ah, sit down now. Just sit down for a minute. It's not that I don't want to move in with you. I know we'd get along great. We always have. I don't want to move in now. Living here means a lot to me, more than I can tell you. I have a lot of memories in this house and good friends all around me here.
The last thing I want to do is take you away from your friends.
That's only part of it. There's more. But this has to be between us, just you and me, honey. I don't want Jeff to know about this now. Not yet. You've got to promise.
I promise.
Look at me, Al. Look close. I'm 63 years old. I don't feel like an old man. I'm in good shape, and I can think as straight as I could 20 years ago. And I have a lot of work left in me. The other guys who are in this with me feel exactly like me.
In what?
We applied for a loan now. 10 of us. We want to start our own plant here.
Iron, wrought iron. We did all the research. We think there's a solid market out there. Not a big one, but big enough for us. And not just local.
Dad, you know I love you, and I wouldn't discourage you for the world, but don't you think the bank might consider you just a little bit too...
Too old? Yeah.
Well, don't you need some guarantees, some backup? Banks don't give money to lose money.
We've given them some good guarantees. We've all put our houses up right on the line. All 10 of us.
Your house is this house. You're really serious about this, aren't you? All of you. Look, do you think it'll go through?
Well, I sure as hell hope so. What else is there?
I hate to keep bringing it up, Dad, but your age is really against you. It's against all of you.
All right. We know all this, so stop bringing it up. Since when are people in their 60s and 70s no damn good anymore? Who made that rule? They never said it about Ike or the Popes. They damn sure don't say it about that Joker Reagan, but they'll say it about the rest of us. Aren't we supposed to have any feelings, for Christ's sake?
Dad, that's not what I meant. You know
What
that's
are
not what I
people my
meant.
age supposed to do? Act invisible, wait to die? Do you remember when I had my gallbladder operation? You remember that? Well, a nurse came in to see me just before they wheeled me into the operating room. She asked me to give her my teeth. I said, well, if you want them, you're going to have to pull them out because they're still my teeth.
What did she do?
Where the hell did you come from? Well, you're looking good. A little tired. Where'd you say you're coming in from?
Canada, Montreal. I had to conduct some seminars up there. I smelled coffee.
Hey, I just made a pot for Dad and me. I think there's enough left for one more cup.
Okay, no sugar.
And just a little cream. I know, I remember. Okay.
Ah, it feels good to be here. You know, I don't get back here often enough. Almost forgotten what it feels like to live in this house. How's everything, Dad?
Tell me about Montreal.
No, I asked first. How's it going?
Well, I'm doing okay. Keeping busy. Ralph Brand owes me 23 grand. Can't play chess worth a damn.
Yeah, I noticed the setup. You know, if I were playing that game, Dad, I could checkmate the Black King in 3 moves, maybe 2. So, who is the new girl on the block? Or should I say nude girl on the block?
That's that bank commission I was telling you about, remember?
Nude and a bank. Come to think of it, why not? Thanks, sis. You know, she's not lacking a thing, is she?
That's what they object to. What she's not lacking.
You're kidding.
No, I'm serious. The whole project's hung up because of it.
My, how morality hath come upon us. Leverage buyouts, insider tradings, but no nudes on the premises. I wouldn't change a thing, and if they don't want her, I'll take her.
Thanks a lot.
Well, still waiting to hear about your trip to Montreal, Jeff.
Well, while you two are settling the world of high finance, I'm gonna go look in on the kids.
Okay, Al. Well, Montreal was all about foreign investment, multinationals, that kind of thing. It's how all the money changers think these days.
Oh, I hope you see them for what they are. You know what I think of that crowd. Can't do a damn thing with their hands except wipe themselves. Most of them can't even do that.
Hey, Nancy! Louie! Come here, baby, let me see you.
How's Elle doing? How are the kids? Everything's still the same with Glenn?
He's never gonna change.
Oh, I know what you mean. You know, I still don't know what she saw in him. She still after you to move into the apartment?
Drop it, Jeff. I don't want to get into that now.
You ought to think about it. You might just be a lot happier over there.
If you find the right woman and settle down, that's what would make me happy.
Well, you know the old saying, Dad. Rather keep searching for what I've yet to find than to find what I'll regret for the rest of my life. I'm looking, Dad. I'm always looking.
You're over 35 now. Different bed every night. You need a home to come back to. Wife,
Here
kids.
we go. Why is it you always have just that one tune to play? I'm a big boy now, and you still bring that subject up.
Oh, who else is going to? Besides, living alone and traveling around like you do, you give people room to talk.
Talk about what?
Well, who knows what people talk about? I mean, maybe they say you're just out there screwing around, or they might think... I don't know what they might think.
I don't give a damn what people think. Then.
Well, I give a damn. Everybody's always saying, how's Jeff Lou still single?
Damn it, now hold the phone a minute. Doesn't somebody call the right girl have something to do with this? Some find her early, some find her late, some never find her. I haven't found her yet, okay?
What's up? What's the matter?
Shh, I'm not here.
What the hell are you talking about?
Shh, I'll tell you in a minute, Lou. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Good to see you.
Ralph! Will you tell me what the...
Oh, Lou. Okay, Lou, confession time. You know what I've been doing the past hour?
What?
I've been counting to 20 with Louis. That's a lot of 20s. I had to get away. Who taught him that?
Me, I did.
Well, he really learned it. And counting to 20 is not enough for him. He wants to keep going. You know why?
Why?
He wants to reach the end of counting. How you like that? Hey, Jeremy, how's the outside world treating you? Still playing the field?
See?
Hello, Ralph. How you doing? How's Sylvia?
Well, she's her old self today. Angela brought the kids over.
And that'll cheer anybody up, kids. Not just Sylvia, anybody.
When you gonna make a grandfather out of your old man, Jeff? That's what he's driving at.
I know, Ralph. I know. Lay off.
Sure, sure. Well, I'm off to play the numbers game with Louis again. I should send him over here to practice on you, Lou. Why don't you stop by later, say hello to Sylvia and Angela? I was only kidding about you getting married. None of my business. Besides, you know what they say. Whatever you do, you'll be sorry.
Well, you still want me to tell you about Montreal?
Tell me. I asked you, didn't I?
Well, more and more foreign nationals are investing here. Multinationals. British, German, Swiss, Dutch, Japanese, Saudis. It's happening more and more.
You like that?
I don't like it one damn bit.
The capital has to come from somewhere, Dad. If we didn't have that kind of outside investment here, this whole area would be depressed.
All you're saying is a lot of Americans now are working for foreigners.
Right.
Well, bullshit. That's what I say about that bullshit.
Dad, you can't dismiss it that way. That's how the world works now. The old ways are over.
Since when is it good for Americans not to work for Americans?
Take the Star-Spangled Banner out of this. It's just an economic issue.
Maybe so. But all you're telling me is the only flag now is money, and I say shit on that.
It makes for interdependence, and that's a hedge against war. Tomorrow's wars are going to be economic wars, money wars, not like the kind you were in.
But who in the hell wants to be on lock, stock, and barrel by foreigners? This is our country, for God's sake. And when is it good for Americans not to own their own country?
Leave patriotism out of this. It just gets in the way of the real issue.
It is the real issue. It's the only issue, if you ask me. All you've been telling me is the whole country is going piece by piece to the highest bidder, and nobody can stop it. Well, anybody who believes that that's good for America can go to hell for my part.
Slow down, Dad. Let's talk about something else.
How many other people out there besides you think like this?
It's the new economics. It's how all the state-of-the-art investors think today.
Well, Lou Basilone says those state-of-the-art investors can go piss up a road.
Dad, you just don't understand. It's not 50 years ago.
I don't know about 50 years ago, but 40 years ago, we owned and produced our own steel.
That's ancient history.
It's not ancient to me. It's American history. We made it. We wrote the book on how to make steel. They ship all our ideas overseas, and now they're being used against us. You're going to sit there and tell me it's the same ballgame? Like hell it is. It's the same damn ballgame, only we're not playing anymore.
Well, what?
That's why we're not the city we used to be.
Things change. Besides, what's wrong with being a service-oriented city? Pittsburgh is still Pittsburgh.
Service for what? All that means is we distribute now what other people produce. I damn sure didn't go to college like you, but I know what that means. You know what that makes us? Middlemen. That's all. Middlemen.
No, it's not as simple as... I don't want to get into this now. We have other things we can talk about.
I just say it the way I see it, Jeff. You look around, you just might see a lot of other people out there who think just like me, but nobody's listening to them either.
Well, maybe there are, but that's not how the money game is played today.
See, that's the problem. You call earning a living a game. Well, it's not a game. A man's in this world to make something, not just follow the almighty dollar. Reagan's got the whole middle class convinced they ought to be millionaires. Made them forget where they came from. They don't want to help one another. Oh, no. They just want to think about themselves. Yuppies. It's not enough just to do a good job anymore. Oh, no. It's got to be a step up to something else, or else it doesn't mean anything.
What can I say? What you think is right for your generation, what they think is right for this generation. You're right there, right. Amen.
I am not in shape anymore. I was just running around the yard with Louie and Nancy, and I need oxygen. Something wrong?
No.
Dad and I were just talking a little economics, investment, loans, that kind of thing.
Did Dad tell you about the loan he's applying for? Dad, did you tell Jeff?
What is loan?
Dad was just telling me how he would go about getting a loan if something went wrong with his house.
Come on, sis. What loan? What loan is she talking about, Dad? Are you hurting? Do you need money?
I don't need a dime.
Then why all this talk about a loan?
This is my business, Jeff.
Banking, investing, that's what I do, remember? Look, I'm not a total stranger around here. I like to think I'm still a member of this family.
She's in a loan just for me. There are 10 of us in on this.
In on what?
We want to start our own plant, our own business.
What kind of business?
Iron, wrought iron.
You're pulling my leg, right? You're pulling my leg, right?
Hey, I didn't take him seriously at first either, Jeff, but Dad is serious about this.
Well, how much are you asking for?
Enough?
How much is enough?
6 figures.
It's not gonna happen.
Why not? Why the hell not, I'd like to know.
Dad, you're 63. 3 Who else is in on this fiasco with you?
Ralph, Ziggy, Colleen, all the guys I used to work with.
Dad, they're all as old as you are. Why didn't you discuss this with me before you went ahead? Why didn't you ask me about this?
And what would you have told me if I did ask
I
you?
would have told you to forget it.
That's why I didn't ask.
Well, you should have asked me anyway. At least I could have saved you the effort and the disappointment. Dad, I don't mean to hang crate, but I know how these people think. The bottom line means everything to them. Their jobs depend on that. That means their lives depend on that. That's all they think about.
The more you talk, the more I think you're just like him.
But wouldn't it be a good thing if the loan went through?
No bank is going to lend that kind of money to men in their mid-60s, and that's all there is to it.
Well, we'll just see about that, Mr. Big Shot. They haven't turned us down yet.
They will. You can bet this house on it.
I already did.
What?
You heard me.
What do you mean?
What if I told you we all put our houses down as guarantees against this loan?
Dad, you can't be serious about
I've never been more serious about anything in my life.
All right. Suppose, no, just suppose you get the money from the bank. And suppose you set up production. And suppose the whole scheme fails. No, just suppose it happens.
If you suppose that, you're gonna fail sure as hell. When I was on Tarara, we knew there was no going back. And that meant just one thing to every Marine in that company. We couldn't fail. So we put it out of our minds. We went in and we didn't fail.
Dad, it's well and good to think that way, but you have to face the facts.
Oh, there you go with those goddamn facts again. Every time I try to tell you how I feel, you come back with the facts. I'm going to tell you something. We're going to make a go of this. I'm not going to listen to anybody who says otherwise. And that goes for you. Facts or no facts.
I can't talk you out of this. The odds aren't good. You know that.
I know that. I knew it from the start. We all knew it. There comes a time when people with money have to start investing in the US of A again, when Americans stand behind Americans, especially the ones in their own backyard.
Jeff, please.
Come on. All right.
You know what the trouble with your generation is, Jeff? You never had to do the impossible. You're just all out there just doing your own thing. You never had to suffer for anything, to sacrifice. Well, my dad had to sacrifice when he came to this country. When I was on Tarara, we had to do the impossible. But we looked out for one another. We didn't forget who we were. We knew if we didn't help one another, we weren't going to make it. Well, a lot of my buddies got taken on before we secured that piece of coral, and they're buried right out there in the middle of that Pacific. If we could win the war, that kind of spirit, if we could do that with the lead flying, why can't we do it now? Aren't we the same people?
God, Dad! I didn't mean to get you all worked up. I'm all for you. You know that. Sis, I'm sorry I didn't get to spend more time with the kids. I'll make it up later, okay?
He just doesn't see the world the way you see it, Dad.
I know that, Al. There's just no place in this world for people like me.
If it means anything to you, I think you have a good idea. I do. I know that I couldn't be happy if I wasn't working and making something with my hands. Hey, I'm gonna go gather up Louie and Nancy. You know how they act when they get too tired. I'll tell them to come in and say goodbye to their papa.
Just kiss him for me, okay?
Do you want me to cook you something before I go? Could I leave Miss Pittsburgh here for a couple of days? You know, till Thursday or Friday. I'll pick her up then. It's just so big to...
Just leave it.
Bye, Dad.
Goodbye, sweetheart. Just a bunch of old-timers, Liz. That's how they all see us. Oh, why the hell did I think I could... Just a bunch of old-timers.
checkmate.
Not yet, buddy. Not just yet.
Damn, I didn't see that.
You never see the whole picture. That's your problem. You don't think past your next move.
I gotta take a break. My arm went to sleep. Veer's kids had a ball yesterday. They didn't want to leave. Anything changed between Elvira and her husband? None of my business. You don't have to answer if you don't want me to know.
Hell, why not? You know everything else. Yeah, they're still split. Hell deserve better. You know, I don't know why. Things never turn out with your kids the way you want them to. She just had no luck, that's all.
You said a mouthful there, Lou. Luck. That's all it is. Look at my girls. They're not pretty, and they're not the smartest girls in the world.
What do you mean they're not pretty? They're prettier now
That's
than when
not the point, Lou. I love them pretty or not. You know that. But the only reason they stayed married is just blind luck. They were both in a hurry to get married just as soon as they hit 21, so they just latched on to the first guy that asked them and got married and stayed married. Now, is that luck or is that luck?
Now sit down. I don't want to talk about marriage, luck, or any of that crap right now. It's your move. Let's get this game over with.
How much is riding on this game?
Well, double or nothing.
That means if I win, we're even Steven, right?
That's what it means. What the hell else would it mean?
And if I lose?
47,000 plus change you owe me.
There. How's that?
Better than last time, but still dumb as hell. You still don't see the whole picture.
Now, check me.
Oh, Jesus Christ, I don't believe this.
So I don't see the whole picture, huh? I don't see past my next move, huh? Well, I've been setting up that trap for my past 5 moves, Mr. Smartass.
Son of a bitch. I just don't believe this.
We're way past belief, Lou. We're into acceptance now.
All right, I get the message, now knock it off.
That brings everything I owe back to 0, right?
Still trying to figure out how the hell you pulled this off.
There's no big mystery. I did it right out in the open. But you didn't see it because you were too busy telling me how dumb I was.
Nah, hell with it. Sick of this shit. Hell with it all.
The problem with you, Lou, is you don't know how to lose. You ought to take some lessons from me about losing. I lost so many times I'm overqualified.
Damn the advice, Ralph. I don't need it right now. Besides, who in the hell wants to learn how to lose?
You gonna watch your great Steelers on Monday Night Football later?
I don't know. 2 defeats in one day may be more than I can handle.
Well, your Steelers aren't going anywhere. Their glory days are behind them. Call me later if you get to the press watching the game. Maybe we can do something.
Yeah, you doing anything right now?
No, but I'm going home to enjoy my victory in peace. I might even have a drink to toast myself.
Why don't you stick around a little?
Because I don't want to crawl around picking up any more chess pieces off the floor.
Ah, that's over. I just want to talk. Now sit down for Christ's sake. Jeff stopped by yesterday. I ended up telling him about the loan.
You what? I thought we decided to keep all this to ourselves till we had something definite.
I couldn't avoid it. Elvira got it out of me earlier, and she tipped off Jeff by mistake. It just happened.
So what did Jeff say?
You want it straighter with ginger ale.
Straight.
He said we're nuts.
Okay, so we're nuts. What else is new? You mind telling me why Jeff says we're nuts?
Ah, the same old story. Says no bank is going to lend money to old-timers like us. Your own son says that to you, buddy. It hurts, and it sticks.
Okay, so it hurts. So what? Was he telling you anything we all didn't know all along?
No.
Then why the long face all of a sudden? I'm not the leader or the cheerleader you are, Lou. But maybe it's my turn to say a few things. You're not the only one in on this. There are 9 other guys in this with you. 9 guys and their families and their houses. And I'm one of the 9 and I'm proud of it. Sure, I wasn't for this in the beginning, but that was because I got used to sitting around the house waiting for the checks to come in. I was turned into a house plant, but I didn't want to admit it to myself. No, sir, not all around. And even when I decided to go along, I had my doubts. And I had one hell of a time convincing Sylvia, believe you me. But she came around in the end. And now our house is up for grabs if this loan comes through and we go belly up. Ours and yours and 8 other ones. So you can't go sagging on us now just because Jeff Basilone thinks we're nuts.
Who says I'm sagging?
I say you are. The guy who just whipped your ass in chest says you are. That's who. Everybody gets this way once in a while. Lou, you're no different. And we all need someone to give us a good kick in the ass when we do.
And you just appointed yourself the official ass kicker, huh?
Why not? I just beat you in chess for the first time in years. That gives me bragger's rights.
Well, suppose you lost. Suppose you owe me 47 grand now. You'd still be shooting off your mouth like this?
I don't know. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going home and I'm going to think about that. Better yet, you think about it.
No, Liz. I didn't think he had it in him.
Can't sit there the rest of the night, Lou. Let me get you something to eat. You look like you lost your last friend.
I've had it, baby. I'm really out of gas.
Oh, come on. Maybe you're just hungry.
I had something after the meeting.
What can I do to help? Here. Relax. Now close your eyes and forget about everything. I don't know how you have been keeping the schedule you've set for yourself lately. It's not human. But I guess it's the price you have to pay if you believe in what you're doing.
I believed in it in the beginning. I was all for it. Lately, I'm starting to wonder if I still believe in it. That's a God's truth. Just don't know if it's worth all this. It's putting us all in the ditch.
What are you talking about?
Union Fund is almost down to nothing. It's talk now of scabs coming in from Ohio and West Virginia. The owners just have to ride it out until we're depleted. It's a losing proposition. They're just going to wear us down.
I don't believe my ears. This isn't my Lou talking.
I'm afraid it is. I'm getting damn tired, honey. I'm burnt out. Maybe it's time for us to face the fact we're fighting for a lost cause.
Who says it's lost?
Lots of people. Read the papers.
But if you quit now, what does that do to the last 2 months? It makes 2 months of hardship and all that work and sacrifice just a waste of time. If you give up now, then everything you've done goes down the drain. Is that what you want to do?
God, lay off, Liz. I'm just too tired to answer. Honest to God.
I know you're tired, Lou. I'm tired, too. I've lived through every minute and every hour and every day and every night of this strike with you, and so has every member of the union and their families. You can't give all that up now because you're tired. You're an officer. People look up to you. There are some things you can't take a vacation from, Lou. There are days, and I really mean this, when I even get tired being a woman. But my body goes right on working on its own schedule month after month, and I have to keep up with it. I haven't got a choice, and I can't even take a break. And you can't take a break either. Now, the mills are going to start up again sooner or later. Everybody knows that. And when that happens, you want to go back to work knowing that you earned something. that you got what you went on strike for in the first place.
You and I are losing our savings.
Oh, who cares about savings at a time like this?
We're losing more and more every day. We'll never make it up,
There
no matter how...
are some things more important in this life than savings, Lou.
When you're almost out of money, there's nothing more important than money.
Oh, yes, there is. There's self-respect, there's dignity, there's fairness, justice. I don't belong to any union, but I'd sooner live hungry than live with injustice. My God, if a working man can't strike when he thinks he's right, then he's just a slave to the system. You said that yourself. You can't throw all of that away, and you know it. Deep down, you know it. And deep down, I know it. Because the man I married never quit on anything in his life.
Right. Damn right, Liz. I just caved in for a minute. Just needed to be reminded, that's all.
I'm back, Dad. You just can't get rid of me.
Jeff, I was just dialing your number just this minute.
Telepathy, huh?
Well, I suppose Ralph's been bragging about how he checkmated me.
As a matter of fact, I wasn't. But it still tastes delicious now that you brought it up. First time I beat him in years. Makes me feel so brilliant I can't stand myself.
Pure luck.
Well, as a matter of fact, I asked him to come back with me. So I'm heading back to his house just when I pulled up, and I want him in on this.
And on what?
What I came here to tell you. Here, sit down, both of you. Now, just settle back and take in what I'm going to tell you. Stop me anytime I'm not clear.
You sure you want me in on this?
You're in this up to your neck with Dad, aren't you? I want you both to hear. Last night, after I left here, I stayed up half the night thinking about your loan. It gave me a headache, but when I woke up this morning, the answer was right in front of me. There's a group of investors in California I've been working with a little over a year now. Lots of capital. For a while, they were only interested in investment out on the West Coast. Now they're looking inland.
Inland?
For Californians, anything east of Los Angeles is inland. Anyway, I called my contact out there this morning, told him about your idea. He said he would survey his partners, called me back, and about half an hour ago I got his call. The long and the short of it is, the group is willing to put up the money.
Just like that? One phone call, no questions asked?
Just like that.
But I didn't even give you a figure.
The details have to be filled in, but in principle, they're all for it.
Details?
There you go, Lou. It's your lucky day after all.
Like there's got to be a gimmick. What's in it for them?
Usual investor percentage, that's all. I'll do the paperwork so I'll get the best deal I can for you. The beauty of this is that it doesn't matter if the business succeeds or fails. If it succeeds, fine, they get their money back plus interest. But if it fails, they're still happy because they can diversify their losses and you don't have to put your houses up for collateral.
Wait just a minute, Jeff. I don't get this. They make out even if we go under.
Dad, these people have tons of money to invest. Japanese have made a bundle off of America, and now they want to invest a good hunk of it right back where it came from.
Japanese money?
Japanese control its profit from Japanese sales and investments here.
Not interested.
Not interested? What do you mean, not interested? You wanted a backer. Here's a backer.
I said I'm not interested. Don't ask me to explain, Jeff. You're too young. You wouldn't understand.
No. It's because of the war, isn't it? You fought against the Japanese, now you can't see yourself taking money from them? Is that it?
That's part of it, yeah. But it's not that simple,
Dad,
son.
I wish you would remember what I said yesterday. Money has no nationality today. If these people don't invest in you, they will invest in somebody else. Believe me, they will.
Listen to what he's telling you, Lou.
You're asking me to take money from the sons of Japanese soldiers I fought against on Tarara more than 40 years ago.
What difference does it make? You can't go on fighting the war in the Pacific for the rest of your life. It's over.
It's not that. I stopped fighting and refighting that war a long time ago. I don't have any hatred in my heart for the Japanese we fought against. They were under orders just like we were, and they were damn good soldiers. They didn't retreat an inch, and most of them died right in their holes. A lot of my buddies died fighting for that island. That's what I can't forget.